Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Talk to L Show. It's another shoot day 2. That's why you're the same clothes, so don't keep yourself asking yourselves questions. And this episode is special because we are talking to another type of personality and doing wonders kwa mtaa yetu. The person is a social worker, and we'll get to know more, and we discuss the concept of community health and whatever everything that she's doing. So please stay tuned and remember to share, watch, like and everything. Sawa, karibu tena.
My name is Margaret Zuki. I'm a mother. I'm also a social worker. I have passion working in the community. I started as a community health volunteer and I've worked since 2010. My area of concentration is dealing with children mostly. I have passion for children. I'm also a Sunday school teacher. I love teaching children. My passion in the special needs field started in 2017.
So welcome back, guys. I hope to watch your video, and that's our guest for the day. And I'm sure you are eager enough kujua whatever is going on. So please welcome again. Let's get to hear these powerful stories. You know, Maggie, karibu sana. You are one of the special kind of guests to me have. We have never had such a guest. So karibu Talk to L Show. And from the video, I believe there is so much we want to learn from you.
Yeah.
But personally, let's. Oh, sorry. Kata hiyo. Oh yeah. See. So yeah, there's so much we want to learn from you, right? And but let's start with who is Maggie. Like, let's have a brief background about yourself.
Maggie is a mother. Maggie is a social worker. Maggie is a wife. And Maggie is a Sunday school teacher.
Sunday school teacher.
Yes.
So now in terms of your career as a social worker, and what will dwell more on this interview. So for when did you start, or how long have you been doing this work, social work?
I started working in 2010. That's when I decided to work on specifically on health. I became a CHW. That time it was CHW, Community Health Worker. Then I continued working as a volunteer, of course. But in me, I felt there was this urge of serving the community, specifically the children. And so I took a diverse direction. I really wanted to dwell with children. As much as I'm teaching about health, I'm also touching the lives of children. I've told you I'm a Sunday school teacher. That I started when I was very young, when I was even before primary school. I could bring children together and I teach them about Jesus. But when I grew up, now in 2010, I decided to hit the community and targeted the children, especially those who are being abused. I could reach to the parents and talk to them about abusing this child, and they could listen to me. And so I realized this is something I can do. So since then, I've been working as a community health worker and as a child protection officer. Yes.
So how has it been in terms of the reception? You know, like, okay, specifically in what areas have you been doing these services? Like the areas you have worked.
I've worked in Madare North, but in the issue of child protection, I've been working all through. In a matatu, I'll work. If I see you abusing a child, I'll intervene. Everywhere where I live, not in Madare North, of course, but where I live, there are children. Wherever there is a child, I do protection. If I'm called, people know me in the community, and so they give calls. If I'm called to go and attend an issue in another estate, I will go, because I know where to link them. So that's what I've been doing. I am not confined in one place.
In your experience as a community health worker, I believe that there's this notion or perspective in the slums. Hii maneno ya community health teaching, wachia watu wana pesa. Wale wanakula huko mabaga na nini. So guys don't take it that serious. So tell us, how has it been you going around trying to educate people about maybe diseases or how to live a healthy life?
The most effective way of educating these people is to understand their community. One, if their economic power is low, then you teach them within their means. For example, if I'm teaching in Madare, it's not the same way when I'm teaching in Runda. When I'm teaching in Madare, we will use the things that are easily available and affordable. So if it is like when we talk about the food groups, these days we don't talk about vitamins, carbohydrates, and those groups that used to be there. We talk about food groups. So when we talk about food groups, you look and you first of all understand what they have locally. I want to feed this lunchtime a family with all the food groups. I'll talk to them about githeri. It's locally available. Githeri has proteins, beans, and carbohydrates, mains, and those are the two food groups. There is cereals and grains, and there is also the proteins, the energy-giving food. We have eaten githeri. In that githeri, we can put an avocado. It's available. That's vitamins, and it has very special oils, the avocado, and they are locally available. So you teach within their means. You don't teach them to eat hamburger and
they've never seen them.
And in fact, such foods, you also teach them against junk food. Yeah.
So in the course of teaching them, like, is everyone receptive, or like what's the attitude of these people?
One thing you need to understand is that these people in the community are used to people who come to teach them, and at the end of the day they are given allowances. There is something that they are getting in return. Here I'm offering knowledge without an envelope. So it has not been very easy, and I know even the other community of workers can attest to this. It is not easy when you go just voluntarily, you want to give knowledge, and people here are expecting something from you because they are used to getting them, the allowances. But one thing I know is that when you teach someone, that word will keep repeating itself in the mind. So at some point they will come to see the sense of what you taught them. So I don't mind if 2, 3, 4 and embrace what I'm teaching, then I feel contented because I understand the community which I'm teaching.
In terms of these diseases or the kind of health, what are some of the pointers or maybe things that you highlight to them, like in terms of diseases or such kind of, from experience, what is more rampant here in this, more specifically in the slums, the kind of diseases or the health situation?
One, we teach them about healthy eating. Healthy eating, one, they need to observe hygiene and sanitation. That is wash. You teach them that there is need to ensure that whatever you cook, or when you are the process of cooking, you need to be clean. You wash your hands. Also, whatever you are cooking should be cleaned. And then now you cook, and you cook well to avoid those diseases that come after. And something else we teach them about is now the food groups. Then you also tell them about the communicable diseases, the diseases that you get as a result of eating poorly, unhealthy eating. You talk about diabetes, you talk about obese, you talk about, when you eat junk food, this is what you get. You just show them, you teach them against some foods, but you advise them on what they should take. You don't just refuse them from. If I tell you not to eat chips and I don't give you another option, it's not good. So that's what I do.
So now going back to now child abuse and protection. So I believe you've come across cases, and maybe you can highlight the state or the situation, this scenario more so in the slum. Is it something that it's so common, or how frequent do you get the cases? Perhaps you can brief us a bit the child aspect.
Child protection. It has not been easy for us, and I know other officers can attest to that. Defilement is on the rampant. Let me say that, because you will go find a father has defiled the daughter, but the mother wants to cover it. And when you really need witnesses to go with you for the case, the mother will not allow even the daughter to give a testimony. So issues of defilement in the community, issues of child abuse, specifically physical abuse, is also there. Something else in our community that is really observed is this issue of depression. When a mother is depressed, all the stress is put out to the child. So you find that this child is emotionally abused. The terms that come from the mother's mouth are really bad. So the parents here, I'm not saying all, but most of the parents here, from the small amount they get, when the earnings, most of them are casual workers. So that depression, especially also during COVID-20, the year 2020 and now this year, when they go and face challenges, of course there is no peace. They don't give peace to their children, and so you realize that the issue of abuse is really high.
So in terms of when now you have a case, do you like have other maybe people partnering in terms of just trying to find justice, maybe lawyers, or how do you go about it? And also experience with we know the experience with our police.
Yes.
So what's your experience? Do the case go through well, or some end up do you say suspended?
Or they are covered.
Now
what happens? We have people that we work with. For example, if a child is defiled, we send them. We have a hospital that really supports us. It's called MSF. MSF, you call the MSF, they come and pick the child plus the parent. They go and inspect, or they go and treat the child first. If they are supposed to administer some drugs to protect them from HIV and also pregnancy. And so when the MSF come on the ground, they take the child to their hospital, they do some treatment, and they also do some tests to confirm whether the child has been defiled. After that, the child and the parent, the caregiver, they are sent to Muthaiga. This is our area. We use Muthaiga police station. So they are taken to Muthaiga police station to record or to record a statement. So that is now when we do that, partly we don't follow up to Muthaiga, but we do a report. We work with the children's office in Kasarani. So we do a report. The office will follow up on the case. Now, when the case goes to Muthaiga, sometimes justice is not given. It's not served. Because, for example, I have a case since 2020. No, this year, Valentine's Day, up to today, the case has never been earned. A girl who was defiled by 4 boys. And most of those boys are adults. You can't say they are minors, because when they are minors, we can understand maybe there's a process. But she was defiled. We took the case we sent them to MSF. A report was done. They were referred to Muthaiga, and they were supposed to go to court, which the boys went to court, but nothing was done. In fact, the mother complained that they went to a corridor and they were told to go back to Muthaiga. And from that time, nothing happened. The parents really pushed the mother because they really wanted to bribe the mother to drop the case, but the mother refused. From there, we don't know what happened. Yeah.
So that's a really big challenge in terms of the system. But now coming back to now the current COVID situation and you as a social worker, so how has it been of impact to you and maybe in you undertaking your daily roles?
Okay, I had not told you that before I was working in an organization called SIM Kenya, Sports Friends. At that time I was working as a special needs coordinator. We were coordinating children with disability plus their caregivers. We bring them together, we give them trauma healing sessions, and after that we take them out for refreshment. For like a week, we take them out for entertainment and just to make them heal. But since early this year, we have not. The group that was here, the Sports Friends team, they dissolved the group and they went back to America. And now we no longer do this. At that time I was employed, but today I'm not employed, but I do it. I still do the follow-up, I still visit the households, I still do the trauma healing, and I make sure that if it is a child who is not able to walk, I also reach out to the people who can provide wheelchairs. That is when I get a link, because people are there, they are offering to give wheelchairs, but they don't know who to give. So sometimes when I get them, I refer them there. But what I can say is that initially COVID-19 has really affected so many things, because even in those families that we are serving, they are really suffering. They are really suffering. And so I've talked about depression. From the depression that they are getting out of not getting their daily bread, they transfer it to their children. So you see that there is a lot of abusiveness in the community. Children are being abused. Unajua, anapopigana wawili, mwenye anaumia ni nyasi. So that is the same way, the same thing. When this parent is not at peace, he will not have peace with the husband. And by so doing, they'll start fighting. There's a lot of GBV in this community, a lot of GBV. And so when they fight, the child is affected also. Yeah. Another thing, there's a lot of dropouts from school. We have so many children in the community that are not going to school. Why? You meet the mother and the mother tells you, I don't have money to send back my child back to school. And sometimes you have nothing to do because that's a school that needs to pay the teachers. You can't force them to take the child. Yeah.
So I understand you're a counselor.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes feel that you also need to be cancelled because of the things you face, the cases you face? Do you feel
yes,
or you cancel yourself?
No, you can't cancel yourself. We are like a team, so we do the briefing. There's a place you go and share what you've gone through, and by so doing, that is now when you get people showing you the direction that you should have gone, maybe, or even cancelling you. You feel also you need counseling, and so when you offload, it's a basket that is full in the unconscious. So when you offload, you feel good, and tomorrow you find it easy to continue. Yeah, you definitely need people to listen to you.
So you've mentioned quite a number of challenges, and I know this is the kind of line of work you're doing. It really needs someone with a big heart. Like you don't need to have like a soft spot, because there's things that you come across and you shed tears. So what makes you going on, like every day you wake up, despite all this, like you just want to do this over and over again?
For example, a child. I have a lot of passion for children. So when I'm sleeping and I remember there's a child being abused somewhere that I need to address the issue, and I don't sleep. I can't even get the sleep. So that passion, it keeps me going. Another thing, I keep hoping that things will come to change. Things are not permanent.
Yeah.
The way it was in 2020, March, is not the same way today. So I keep hoping that things will change. Our community will embrace what we tell them. They will embrace us as counselors, and they will one day wake up and decide to do what we tell them. So I keep hoping. And something else, I pray. I'm born again, and so I believe that God is in control. When I wake up, I know He has the day already for me. Yeah.
So while we are finishing, maybe we'll emphasize on from whatever you have talked about, the importance of having a healthy community, and also the need to observe the rights of the children, and perhaps end the abuse. So maybe you can conclude on that, and also we'd love to get to know your contact info in case we have someone who needs to reach to you for your services.
There's so many things that you've told me, but I'll see if I'll remember.
Maybe you can chat.
Let me talk about health. Having a healthy community makes the economy flow. So one thing I tell people is that let's eat well, we reduce the sicknesses or diseases, and we will be able to walk peacefully and healthy in the community to stabilize the economy. You cannot go to work when you are sick. You cannot deliver when you are not feeling well. So when I talk about good health living, I insist on telling people we need the economy to stabilize. We are the people to stabilize the economy by eating healthy. Number two, when I talk about child protection, and this is an area where I'm very strict, we cannot, a tree produces its kind. A mango will not give us a papaya. So we need to become role models in our homes so that we can produce the right children. You cannot be huwezi kuwa unavuta bangi, you're smoking bangi, and you're the one who is sending this child to go and buy a cigarette and expect this child not to smoke. So let us be role models in the community. The parents, a mother should be a role model. So when you throw abusive words to the neighbor, expect your child to grow the same. We need to produce our kind. That is what I tell them. And when I go there and find an abuse, I am usually very firm. I don't like people compromising and covering things. Let us be straightforward to help the child. The child is our today's leader. We are not talking about tomorrow. Today's leader, because we are nurturing them. And the way we are going to train them, that is the way they will come to live. The Bible is very clear in the book of Proverbs 26. It says that train up a child in the way he should grow. And when he grows up, he'll never depart from that way. So that's my push. We need to produce our kind. When it comes to the child with disability, that I don't compromise. If you lock your child in the house, even if you're going to look for food, I am with you. Because one thing I know is that this child, anything can happen, and this child is very vulnerable. Supposing fire breaks, he or she will not be able to help herself or himself. So we do not need to lock our children in the house. Leave your house open. Whatever is in that house is more treasurable than your TV or your fridge. The child is more treasurable. Don't lock the child inside. If there is anything you can do, maybe you can source for a wheelchair. People are giving wheelchairs, and we are also praying to God that He will give us organizations that will stand with us to support these children with disability. You can walk around with this child. You can even talk to someone. There are daycares. I'm also thinking very deeply of opening a daycare where a child with disability will be taken there. That is what I'm just trusting God for. That this child will not be locked in the house. We've seen children burn in the house. So that one I don't compromise. when it comes to maybe something else, you can remind me.
So perhaps maybe guys would like to get in touch with you, or maybe perhaps work with you in your program. So how can they find you? Either are you on social media, ama ni kwa simu tu?
Niko na simu, niko na social media. I'm in Facebook. My name is Margaret Mweni Nzuki. That is Facebook. He'll get me there. I have an email, Maginzuki, maginzuki.mweni@gmail.com. My number 0726 933 035. 0726 933 035.
Guys, don't worry. This is already itaandikwa hapo chini, so you'll get all the info. Now it has been the lengthiest show we ever had, but I've learned a lot. And just as we finish, just continue wherever you're doing, because it's really impactful. And anyone you have watched this episode and want to stand with Maggie, and even to spread out of, because currently you're Utali what Madare, and these are cases ziko so many places, and you'd love to get involved, please reach out through the social handles, the number you can call her, and then let's work to transform the society. As usual, Ghetto TV will stand, so you can highlight any programs tutakuja, and we showcase to the people and get guys on board, you know. Thank you.
I really appreciate, and may God bless you for that. I really feel opened.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
So thank you guys for watching this, another English japiganga na English. But yeah, my English is still good, so thank you very much for watching this episode. Until we meet again, bye bye. Talk to L.